Hello, good evening. Testing, just to be sure that my sound is actually alright. I'm just gonna open up my scene. For some reason, it seems like the YouTube streaming is not working anymore. Or it might, or is it? To be honest with you, I couldn't connect with YouTube before, so is there anyone on YouTube right now? Could you just write something in the chat just to be sure it's actually working. Just gonna quickly set up that in the meantime to go back to what we're actually doing the last time. So I don't know which color should we pick. I always got like those favorites, even if I got like a big number of materials, like stuff like that. I don't really like it because for sculpting, I feel like this is, I know that there's like a nice rim light and all, but it's I feel like it's more all, meant for materials, not materials, but renders. So, and yeah, those are not too bad. Yeah, but I think those three are like my favorites. What about this one? Yeah, too intense. So, okay, so we'll go with one of those. Or even this one. Oh, yeah, maybe not. If it's too dark, sometimes I'll just, here you go. So, now I just want to check, for the Facebook. I'm just gonna reconnect my chat just to be sure I'm not missing anything in the comments. And sorry guys, for some reason we had like issues with the whole streaming thing recently, so I just want to be sure everything is working. And for some reason I get the feeling that the Facebook part is not really working for some reason. But it's alright. We'll go ahead and along the way, if it works, maybe I'll try later if it actually works. So, to head back on the track we started a few streams ago. Today I got like a new artist I'd like to present, which is one of my, one of the other like super talented, and I kind of really like his style for sculptures. He's called Franco Carlosimo in Barcelona, which this guy is it's amazing what he can actually do. That's another great reference if you're trying like to reference some of the models that he did or anything like for printing. And I kind of really like even like the render part, or like it's quite cool. So yeah, you can go check his ArtStation page. You got like an Instagram, and he just recently like did like prints for a sculpture. I think it's all done by Ownage, but yeah, if you wanna go buy it, support him, whatever, feel free to do so, or just follow him. I think that's one of the great sculptors for collectibles out there. So, and before we start sculpting, last thing is like one of the resources I use like for tutorials and stuff like that. And it's like, and by the way, I don't have like any sponsorship or anything like that, but it's just like I found like this tutorial a while ago, and since this is all about doing sculptures for print and stuff like that, I thought maybe that would be like something that would interest you, which is made by just wanna by Johan Pitlock. So yeah, I think that's it. It's a kind of different approach from what I'm doing, but I think it's a pretty cool one with like a mannequin. And yeah, if you want to go check it out, it's on 3D Total, and I think you just need like to go to the tutorials and go pick ZBrush. I think it's one of the first 5 or 6. So if we get back to what we're actually doing, I don't know if you remember, but the last time I started like a sculpture of those are the talons from the Court of Owls in Batman, and basically they got like many different talons depending on which era they actually were in. They got like different design, which I think like they are all pretty much cool. But the one I stop and pick is actually the 1870 version, which is like more kind of a steampunk. So I'm just gonna continue at it. Yeah, maybe like for this time I will chat a little bit less and do a little bit more, hopefully, because it's a lot more efficient that way. So this time I'm just gonna continue on the legs. So hello everyone that is actually joining in. I hope everybody is feeling alright. It's a little bit laggy, but I'm gonna, just for the sake of speed. And yeah, and sometimes it's not too bad, but that's another trick. Sometimes I do it. I rarely do that, but oops. If you look in the webcam, I got like printed like the image of the sketch that I'm using, and that's just like another version. But I mean, like yeah, sometimes it's I don't know, the fact that you get like a sheet of paper in your hand, you can really like stop, analyze, and you can zoom in like up close. I don't know, it gives you, I guess, like a different perspective. So sometimes like it's not too bad to do like from time to time. It's not necessary at all, and I really rarely do that. But since I got it, then why not use it? So I'm just gonna still continue my sketch. Just to be sure, like everyone is hearing me, right? Because I see some people watching, but nobody speaking. So I just want to be sure I'm not like talking to myself. But it's the mic is actually on, so hopefully everybody's like hearing me. One, two. So nothing new really. Like in the past days, I've been missing the last session because I like to do a little bit of overtime at work. So just wanted like to push my skills. It was not like a something that I absolutely needed to do, but I felt I could improve it even more if I had like a little bit more time. So wait. Um, What? That was not supposed to be. Okay, what the hell happened? So, someone is actually sculpting right now? Am I alone sculpting tonight, or you guys are working on something? Um, there's definitely something wrong with the knees. work a little bit of those fingers. One of the things that I like to do for fingers are right now they're it's, you know, it's quite easy to isolate them. So I'll just do this and then I'll create like a poly group per finger. So after that it will be a lot easier to isolate them, to work on them. So whoops. Group mask. Then onto the next one. And the last one. Oops. Just gonna be sure I got like the whole finger. I guess sometimes it's better to take more than none enough. But yeah. So now I got my finger, so I can just like easily isolate like one finger and then work on it. Sometimes it's good like before you isolate it to just like indicate the knuckle, because you know, like this it's pretty hard to know which part is actually the front from the back. So and like you see, I'm still like working with like a pretty low subdivision level. I don't want it to be too it's just like to give me like a hint for where I should bend the fingers more than anything. And I always kind of do like that kind of when you look at your fingers, it does like always like that kind of arc. So I'll try like to with the not the knuckles, but like I forgot the name of it, but basically those parts, like those first part bending part, the two first ones are almost like equal, like next to each other, but then after that they start like to fall off. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So you see like this one usually it's like a little bit longer. Then yeah. So I'm just gonna inflate them a little bit since he's supposed to be wearing like some kind of a glove. And when I sculpt, I actually make them thinner, like on purpose. I kind of carve in. Got a hard time sculpting with the streaming and okay. That's one of the most it's like one of the hardest bit like in ZBrush right now is like all that bending and then after that, you know, if you need like to work on those parts inside, so sometimes it's not like a bad idea to actually group mask this part as well. So now I got like 3 sections, So it's a lot easier if I wanna just like mask, not really like for isolate, but more like masking the rest of it. So then I can still work on it while affecting like on the other side. So if I use my inflate, see like I can, and you can even like bring that gap together closer. Right now I don't need it. I don't need like to do it like quite a lot because I'm still like in fairly like low subdivisions. But later when I'm going more high res, but yeah, it was just like to show. But I don't think I'm gonna be working on that right now because it's a little bit boring. I think I'm just gonna, since we got like, it's still pretty rough, but still we got like kind of a good start for the sketch. It will change like quite a bit still, but still I feel I can start to do like the parts, and still that's one of the thing, like right now I feel my measurements, especially on the lower body, are like quite off, but the more I will add parts I will kind of find my way in there. So one of the thing that I think it's pretty cool, it's the some kind of like saw blade or something, and I just want to check the reference first. So I think, well, in that circle, maybe. So um, I think I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna delete that, and I'm gonna go just for this one. Um, so what I'm doing is like it's that part of it there, on his belt. So let me just gonna isolate, and then instead of doing like a symmetry uh, next to it, I'll do one from under. Yeah, that's it. So set. Okay, and then bridge. Wait, I want to just do this right. I use it sometimes like that, but edges and tools. Hey, what's up? There you go. So we got a ring. So I'm just gonna delete all those edges. I don't need like that much. Delete loop. Come on, get away. Because I'm in symmetry or what? What's the... Not an open edge. Okay, nearly there. So I'm just gonna reassign a poly group to this loop. So dark. I'll go additive. Ah, so be it. So I think that will still work. Okay, it's just like to see them, like will be easier to see them. But yeah, you can go this way, but yeah, I always like the binormal. So sometimes I'll 25 is like 25 and 15 are like my two favorite numbers. So now I got like a poly group everywhere. So who's delayed? Me? Well, I know that like on the Twitch thing, like they said that last week I was postponed, but yeah, I think the schedule for this week was actually off, or not there at all. So I don't know what happened with that. So now that we're good to go for this one, then I'll just do my creases, and then we'll subdivide it. Oops. I just want to bring like the center closer. Is it mask or not? That's the thing I hate about having so many dark colors. I think I'm just gonna change my shader if you don't mind, guys, because this is like too hard to see. My material, I mean, not the shader. Oh, there you go. Now we see something. So now, okay. Now I'll go up in subdivisions, and then I'm gonna try it. I don't know if this will work out, but I think it will be fun. So I'll go into move. It's a move with AccuCurve, and it gives us like some kind of a. But right now I feel it's still pretty smooth, so I'm just gonna try something else. Just a snake hook with the AccuCurve. Not bad, not bad. And then I'm right now I'm just gonna subdivide it even more. Oops. Should it flare out or not? That is the question. I think it could be cool. too much. Just a tiny bit. I think I'll have like to type in the value. And yeah, if we want to print this, you know, that's one of the things that you need, like, of course, like to be aware of. It's like, you know, if you make it like way too thin, it's gonna be it won't probably work out, especially with SLA. Like sometimes, like, you know, long and thin things will break more easily, or you'll need like to put supports on them, and like, and to clean this up, it could be like a kind of a nightmare. So yeah, okay. So now I think I kind of understood like the technique. So I'm gonna bring everything out quite strong with my move brush. Oops. Sorry guys if it takes a little while. I'm just like really like trying to figure out like the best way to do that. So I just want to be sure that it's annoying. I'm trying like to find the best angle to do this. I think I'm gonna I apologize. This is not sexy at all. I'm just like finding this too. And if we'll try something else, because I'm not convinced this will work out on the same wheel. So, whoops, not like undo, but and I don't know if this will work out, but we'll try it. So, and now that's one of the cool things I notice, and I think it might be buggy, but it seems to work. It's the if you go into move like that, and then you can press Control and just click once. Okay, because for some reason, like I was like able at work like to duplicate meshes with subdivisions level on, but yeah, it might have been like a bug or something, or maybe you guys were able to do it too. So let me know if you had like a same issue. So I'm just gonna do a mirror. Gonna delete. Yeah, okay, I know that. So I'm gonna reconstruct to get back my subdivisions. I just want to be sure I'm not like going too low that it's destroying the iris one. Hey, what's up, UK? These days, my neighbor at work, he's from the UK as well, so a good fella. Okay, so I think for now it's gonna be it. And if I inflate it, I'm not convinced, but since I'm not sure where I'm gonna go next with this, maybe it's better that I'll leave it for now and do this, and because I'm like thinking about it at the same time. Um, Maybe if I try like some kind of clip polish on it. Yeah, I kind of like that because I wanted to keep like some kind of sharp angle to it, which over here like feels like really smooth and round. But I think the clip polish did it. Yeah, yeah. So I'll just. I think I'm not like doing the right. Needs to mirror, but then whoops. Needs to mirror, but in Y. Did I erase my other wheel or what? We'll get there. Something like that. And I'll reconstruct the yeah, I think I'm gonna merge them first. Delete lower, merge down. Sorry guys if I'm like something like going in circles and stuff like that. It's just like there's like days like like today like I finished late last night and today was like a kind of a big day. So and I even like did some speed sculpt with friends during lunchtime, and now like I'm kind of my energy went like kind of lower than usual. So but I'll get there. It's just like the whole efficiency just is not like as high as it used to be. So but I hope it's not like too boring for you guys. Or I hope like at least you're actually like sculpting or something in the meantime, and If you're not, it's it's perfectly fine. But yeah, I wouldn't want to waste too much of your time watching this. I'm thinking about like what's the best way to, because I want to taper this, but maybe if I try like to pinch, yeah, I guess it kind of worked. Since I was like solo res, it was like kind of quite aggressive. So just for fun, I'm like trying to figure out if I can actually pull this even more. I think I'm gonna leave it like this, and just needs like to be a little bit more inflated. I'm gonna stop playing with it for now, and I'll put it there, and then we'll see if it works out in the long run. But at least, like I've said, like I need like those parts for measurements for the rest of it, rest of the parts. So no, I don't know what I did, but it's I kind of killed ZBrush. Okay. I should really change that gizmo. I mean, it's yeah. I went like with this one because for some reason I felt like the other gizmo, well, like the center was like the size was like changing or something. Diameter was like being tighter. Yeah, I'm relaxing. That's awesome. With my deep voice. Okay, so and then next one. Uh, yeah, thanks, man. See it as a compliment. My beautiful voice. I've been singing like for many years, especially for the stream. Hopefully one day I would stream and then, my voice would be like so nice that people will listen to the stream only for my voice and not really for my sculpting. No, just kidding. But you knew that. So yeah, we'll do something fun. We'll try to sculpt that head. Oh man, I cannot take that title. You know, this guy, man, is a legend is a legend, and I don't have and I don't wear an afro, so. But yeah, maybe one day, I'll try to be a Super Bob Ross. This dude, such a visionary. He had like everything, skills and looks. So if you feel at some point that you're missing some geo, you can always go sculptress. But for me right now, I think I'm good without it. Yeah, a Bob Ross, IMM brush, that would be something. But it might be the next step, and since we already got the damn standard, then maybe we need like a Bob Ross brush or something. I think if I create one brush at some point, I will call it Bob Ross in the honor of Bob for what he brought to the community. Do anybody know actually who Bob Ross is? If you guys never seen him, you should definitely take a look on YouTube and see the legend. It's a painter. I don't think like he's sculpting. He's mostly like doing like landscape painting. He's really amazing. But yeah, he got like this look of that cool disco look. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Deadpool did like a Bob Ross version, right? For one of the trailers. But I think even like I saw like Macklemore, the rapper. I think there's like one video of I wonder if it's dance off or one of those videos that he did, or the flute. The thing with about the flute. I think he actually do like a Bob Ross in it. Don't forget if you're putting like the if you're if you want to do the sculptress, then you need to remove the back facing. Right now it's lagging like crazy because my computer is dying slowly, but usually for most of the PCs it should be perfectly fine. It's just because I got like this old thing that it's basically testing my patience more than my skills. But yeah, I'm I'm trying like to get that Threadripper, like the 2950X, and yeah, probably like burn that PC or something. Like just do like some kind of sacrifice for the Pixologic sacrifice, something. Like just yeah, just move on because this thing is like so old, and yeah, it's with the streaming and all, it's it can barely work without streaming, but with streaming it's just you know 10 times worse. But still, that's one of the impressive part. It's like ZBrush, like for if you got like a decent amount of RAM, you don't like a really strong machine to actually be able to sculpt in it, and it's and like you see, like yes, it lags a little bit, but if I wouldn't be streaming, it would be like a lot faster than that. So I'm doing like this kind of two-step kind of approach, which is I'm pulling in, I'm putting some polygons in the on the edge of the eye, and then I'll go back in and then carve the detail I wanted to put in the first place that I was like missing the polys. I feel like the trick with polygon density, it really goes with how hard you press the tablet with your you know the less polygons you'll put, the more reactive it will be. So depending if you're like I guess if you're like super heavy-handed, it might be easier like to sculpt with more polygons. But if you're kind of light-handed, then maybe trying like to put less polygons will give you like a better control. I kind of like having like as less as possible, but like you see at some point like it's just like unworkable. So for real, they got a Bob Ross channel on Twitch, and that's the real one, or it's just like some kind of reruns from what they had like on TV or something. That is like so amazing. This is so high tech. I mean, who would have thought? Even him, I'm pretty sure like he would never thought he would end up like at some point on the internet. Even back then when he made those videos, which were like probably in the 70s or 80s, I don't know. Well, that afro is like probably from the 70s, but this guy, we never really knew if he was like wearing it outside of the 70s, or because it was just like his brand, haircut brand. I was just like trying to nail down the whole silhouette of the head. I went quiet. Don't worry, I wasn't like having a stroke or anything like that. Wow, okay, I didn't know that. He was you wanted to save on money on haircut, but that's the thing. Like I'm kind of surprised. Like in the army, like they would actually have accepted like this kind of haircut. Usually it was like because I can't remember like any military guys that wore like an afro. But at the same time, I know that they are like specialists in the army for a while that could, you know, I can't remember what like the category of military that they were, like in which kind of group they were a part of, but they could grow beards, which usually in the army you're not like allowed to get to have like a beard. So um, and I'm not like talking about Delta Force. I think like it's a group of guys who were like yeah, I can't remember. Oh yeah, I said like that. I had like no news this week, but actually, like some of you know, like actually, I got like a cubic photon in one of the printers I got, and well, that's the only one I got. But and yes, it's like a lot less expensive than a Form 2, which Form 2 is like really amazing. But yeah, but that's the thing, like it's less expensive, so it's like 5 times if it's not more less expensive, which is awesome, like to get some. But like any printer, like right now, I'm running into like major issues with it. It seems like the firmware for some reason is like completely and out of nowhere. Like I was just, I was one day I was able to print, and then one day I just wanted like to do the print, and then what happened was like as soon as the printer started like to print, it it kind of crashed, then rebooted the printer. So after like 1%, the printer would crash and then reboot, and then I would be like kind of stuck with that, and it would never go further than that. So I've tried everything. Like I'm kind of a you know like all right about just unscrewing and just breaking everything apart just to figure out what was the problem. So that's exactly what I did. I just and tested like every like electric circuits with all, and even with the numbers that they had, but nope, nothing was working out. So yeah, they resent me like another firmware to update my printer. Now it's like it's it's even worse. Like it's not even printing at all, and it's for some reason my UV light doesn't work anymore. So yeah, it's I'm still like figuring out with the queue like the customer service what to do with that. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer because I got like a lot of print lineup just waiting to get printed, and yeah, out of a sudden, I just it just kind of fell apart. And the worst thing is, like, it was just like sitting on my desk. Like usually I just bring my printer to the garage to do prints, and yeah, I guess that day the printer didn't feel like it. So right now I'll try like to go, and I'll keep my symmetry on, and like try to go low. I'm trying like basically in there like to keep it trim, but I think it's gonna be super hard because of this part, the way it goes back in. still try to do something, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm just gonna go 1 and then press shift, and then if I try without shift, no, that's not working. And if I go half with shift, because it's too dense, yeah. Okay, I'll try to do something then. Right now it's like kind of a pretty hard to see like the border, and from what I look at the you know, in the sketch, basically it's like it's this part, you know, like it goes in, and then you got like this trim around, and then goes down, and then once it comes over here it becomes like kind of thinner. So that's exactly what I'm gonna try to do with my topology. Just gonna try to bring it like, you know, it's still gonna, and just for visibility I will actually add my poly groups. It's not just for visibility, later we'll use them, but I mean, like, it's for right now, it's the reason why I'm putting them on right now. It's just like to see where I'm going with this. Oops. Okay. So I'm literally like sculpting the shape of the trim that I'm going for. So that's the thing, like I think, to be honest with you, I think like the best thing for ZBrush is like more core. But from what I saw, like because I was looking at the benchmark, and I don't know about you, but I'm clearly not just using ZBrush. I'm like using Marvelous and Substance and stuff like that, and it seems like, you know, like those like the 29990 and even the 2970, you know, the two WX, that finish with like WX seems to be like quite a lot of issues for, like, you know, if you were just running like standard programs and stuff like that, and even like some of those programs needs to be really optimized for the, so I know that ZBrush really likes cores, so I'm pretty sure you would, you know, it would benefit, but I don't know to what extent, you know, and at the same time I don't know what kind of process you're doing in ZBrush, if it's just sculpting and stuff like that. I don't know if like if the benefit would be like that major, but definitely if you need like to invest for a ZBrush, you should go for RAM and cores. The more cores, the better. So yeah, so this is going like this and like that. So I'm gonna slowly bring this closer. For some reason, like, the other side doesn't seem to be identical, so I'm just gonna delete this side and then mirror. Oh, first. And then actually we got something symmetric, but we don't have like anything welded in the middle, so that's what we'll do. So now if we smooth seems to be fine, and it's not welded still. Yeah, sometimes you just subdivide them and see you'll see if it works out or not. So I don't need that anymore for right now. And yeah, well, before I do this, I'm just gonna push it out to see where it fits on the chest. Yeah, yeah. The only issue with like the Form 2 printers or really like the price, the cost of resin. But I mean, if it, that's the thing. Like for a hobbyist, I think that can be like expensive. But if you're a business, that's pretty cheap compared to what the industrial kind of printers charge. So, and more specifically for prototyping and stuff like that, and for jewelry, I think that's but I think that's jewelry that you're actually printing with your four printers, right? I think that's, and I think like even as a company, they're like services and all, like they're quite they seem to be quite a good company. I wish like I actually I could go visit them. I know that they're like a little bit more south. I think they're like in Boston. So yeah, one day probably I'll try to go check out their facilities. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, that's one of the things. Like for the printer, like like tell me if I'm wrong, but I think like for the Form 2, you need absolutely like to buy um, the Form Labs resin. I don't think you can buy like other third-party brands or anything like that, right? Because that's one of the things I found out that was like quite cool with the the photon. I knew it's like a Chinese and it's like might not be like as tight as Formlabs, but still like the fact that they openly say, yeah, you can use like any resin as long as it's got like the right UV curing number. Can be like from another any other brand. So just because of that, like you get like a lot more you know brands and that you can buy. So it really plays out like on the cost of the resin, and it's since all of that stuff is still like I know that there's like some super efficient people out there with printers, but for me it's still like a learning kind of process since I don't use them like professionally at work. I I think like yeah, I basically I want to try like crazy ideas as much as I can with the low as as low cost as possible, and yeah, that's uh that's my goal. So and yeah, and it's been working out so far. The for the time it was working. So I'm just gonna sorry about that. And we're almost done. That was not like speed sculpt for sure. Yeah, not too bad. Then it's weird like since I adjusted like the it's kind of since I've changed like the poly group for some reason like I lost my the edge right over here. Well, it's still there because we see like a line, but it's just not showing. Okay, so yeah, yeah, that's one of the thing. One of the thing that I really like as well with Formlabs, like they work out quite a lot there of their resin. Like you get like those rubber like that you can do like almost like casing, like rubber casing for for tools or whatever, or like super hard resin that is like barely breakable and stuff like that. So I think for that, like they're and I think like they've been like pushing the research for it like quite a bit. And yeah, I think that's awesome for that. Because once more, like all of that stuff wasn't really existing before the for like that kind of price range of printers. Now that they brought that out, like the other printers are now, it becomes like a kind of a standard once Formlabs um, do something. So uh, bully group. One of the thing that I like to do, and it's like it's maybe that's my video game background is actually talking, but yeah, usually like it gets pushed straight, and it's just like for baking usually it always bakes better when it's like not like a pure 90 degrees. So oftentimes what I'll do when this happens, I'll I just want to be sure it will work out. Usually the shape is not that complex, but we'll try to make it work. Oops, I'll add like a edge loop. I guess I could have tried with a bevel. Yeah, see, edge loop. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure it's gonna work out. I want to explain you something, but I just want to test it first before I shoot myself in the foot. Um, yeah, we'll just try to go like that. So basically, what I'll do is I'll insert lines, and I'm trying like to stay still like pretty close to the edge. Something like that. And then I will just simply delete the edge. So see, like right now I just gain like an angle into it. So it's just like if I took like all the line and I pushed it back in. And right now my line is still like pretty messy. I'll need like to clean this up. So I'm just like trying to see if there's like quick things I can actually fix right away. I think I'm gonna split that part. Um, okay. Oh, okay, my bad. I thought like I lost the thickness, but I just probably hide the thing. So now like another trick that I'll do is like for the crease. Usually 2 or 3 are like my favorite ones for art surface stuff. So you know this will work. This will work, but you see like the corners and stuff like that. That's not working out. And if you look at the reference, it's pretty hard. So you got like 2 choice. You can go in with this, the Z modeler, and then go on the edge. You go with crease, edge loop. You pick whatever you like. In this case, I'm only like doing one edge, and you just go and pick it. You know, I'll just do like those 2 over here. Just show. I was in symmetry. So now if I subdivide C, like now I'm keeping my art. It could be like harder just by going with 3 instead of crease levels. And yeah, I'll just 3 then. But yeah, I prefer to go at this point, like it's, you know, I can leave my crease like that, but I would prefer to go with binormals, go with 25, and see, now I got like a polygroups right in that corner. Same thing at the bottom. And yeah, I wish if the angle is not like strong enough, which is for this case, this is supposed to be hard. So I'm gonna help ZBrush identify, you know, identify corner. So see, like now I got like a harder angle. So if I try this again, which is now I got like two polygroups. This should be, yeah. For some reason he put like two of the same color, but they're like two different polygroups. So if I go back and do crease polygroup at level 3, then I get like a crease on it. So I think this won't work out because, okay. So let me redo this, okay, and it works. Because the reason why it wasn't working out was just because I already had subdivisions when I put that. And it's the same thing for this, you know, like, oh, okay, it's too round. Then I'll go back in. Yeah, I did like a few undos. And then I can always like pull this to get like a harder angle. And then we'll try this out again. See, well, you know, if the angle that you got is like, no, that's exactly the angle that I want, in that case you might want to change this. Let's go with 15. Sometimes you need like to increase it instead. Okay, so let's go for 5 then. Okay, 5 works, so yeah. But you know, in that case, you know, I kind of forced it. But once again, you're like never trapped. Actually, just go with like crease by polygroup, and then have like, you know, like creases right on the edge, you know, right over there, which you don't want, or like over here. So in this case, you can like always like hide that part, and then do a, and it will only do it on those things. But in our case, come on, you can always do this. So basically I just isolated the polygroup, the only one I needed, and you see my two others like in the corner, they're still without any polygroups, and the ones that I need polygroup on got some. So but now I'll need like to do the same thing with this side. I'm always, because the C key is actually like color pick, but my menu is actually V, so often it like the C, so that's why. And I try to like to remove the mask or something. It doesn't work out. So because of course it's the color who's getting changed, and not a masking. So yeah, so right now still you can't get the feeling that the surface is not like perfectly fine, so I will definitely need to work out my surface a lot more so I can still isolate this. And then but yeah, I think I'm going like into overtime right now. It's I'm just like starting to get warmed up. An hour and a half later, and yeah, but it's all right. I'm I'll be back. So what did I miss? You guys are still talking about like the printers? Yeah, the Pale Pauli, Moai. Yeah, I got like a someone that I know that I got one, and he's like really happy of the result. So that's clearly like one of the printers I'm looking into as well. So yeah, Fuse One is the one I think made with powder that you can kind of reuse like the powder afterwards. But it's So this will be probably it for tonight. So thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me. And yeah, we'll continue this later. Sorry if I was like a little bit like slow tonight, but yeah, hopefully I'll be able like to pick up the speed soon. And yeah, have a great night, everyone. Bye bye.